You just did something small. Maybe you clicked this video without even thinking about it. Maybe it appeared on your feed while you were searching for something else. But let me ask you, what if this moment wasn't random? What if there's a reason you're hearing these words right now? Because what you're about to discover might completely change how you see yourself. You might think Elon Musk is just a billionaire inventor, a rocket builder, a man obsessed with Mars. But no, what he truly is a pattern recognizer. He sees things about people that others completely miss. He looks beyond what you show the world and notices something deeper: potential, drive, fire, hunger. And believe it or not, he's seen that same spark in people like you. You probably don't think of yourself as that type, the type to change things, to build something massive, to leave a mark. But that's exactly the mistake the world makes before it meets someone extraordinary. They look normal on the outside, quiet, ordinary, invisible even, until the world suddenly realizes they were never ordinary at all. You're here right now, listening, not by accident, not by coincidence, but because your story is shifting. You feel it, don't you? That subtle pull in your chest, that whisper that says, "I was meant for more." That's not fantasy, that's recognition. The world hasn't seen you yet, but Elon Musk would. He once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do." But he didn't mean crazy like unstable. He meant crazy like you, the kind who can't stop imagining something bigger, even when it scares them. So right now, I want you to pause and really think about this. What if you've been underestimating yourself your entire life? What if the moment you finally believe what Elon Musk already saw about you, everything changes? Because you're about to find out why he would bet on you, even when you wouldn't bet on yourself. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture this. More than 8 billion people on this planet. Different countries, languages, dreams, and struggles. Yet somehow you and I are crossing paths right now. Now think about that for a second. Out of all the videos, all the distractions, all the noise, something guided you here. Maybe you call it coincidence. Maybe you call it fate. But what if it's neither? What if this is timing? A quiet moment that was meant to reach you, right when you needed to hear it. You've been carrying something, haven't you? A dream. A fear, a question that's been echoing inside you. When will it finally happen for me? Maybe you've tried before, started a project, made a plan, taken a risk, and it didn't go the way you hoped. Maybe the world ignored you, people doubted you, or life just got heavy. And so, you stopped believing for a while. You convinced yourself you were just one among billions, that your dreams were too far, too wild, too unrealistic. But Elon Musk would have disagreed. Because when Musk looks at people, he doesn't see statistics, he sees possibility. He doesn't see 8 billion. He sees 8 billion potential creators, problem solvers, innovators, each one carrying something the world hasn't seen yet. And maybe you're one of them. You see, Elon Musk wasn't supposed to succeed. He wasn't born into wealth. He wasn't the smartest in the room. He was just curious. Endlessly, fearlessly curious. As a kid, he'd read for hours, filling his mind with questions the world didn't have answers for. He wasn't looking for fame. He was looking for understanding, and that's where you and he connect, because you've been questioning too. Maybe you've looked around and thought, why does it feel like there's something more out there? Why do I feel restless, like I'm meant to do something bigger? It's not arrogance. It's awareness. It's that spark Musk talked about. The spark that refuses to be quiet, no matter how hard life tries to silence it. There's a reason you feel different. A reason you sometimes feel out of place in the crowd. Because deep down, you were never meant to just fit in. You were meant to build. And building, whether it's a dream, a business, a new life, starts in the same place, inside your imagination. So picture this. It's early morning. You wake up, and instead of rushing to your routine, you sit quietly and see your future. Not as a fantasy, but as a blueprint. You see yourself working on something that excites you, something that scares you in the best possible way. You see people you haven't met yet, opportunities that haven't appeared yet, and a version of yourself you've only imagined. And suddenly, that image feels real. That's how Musk starts everything. Not with money or power, but with a vision so vivid it becomes impossible not to chase. He once said, "I could either watch it happen or be a part of it, and that's the choice in front of you right now." You can keep watching the world move forward, or you can start building the version of it that only you can imagine. Because whether you realize it or not, there's something only you can bring into this world. A design, an idea, a message, a change. It doesn't matter if you're not there yet. What matters is that you still feel the pull, that deep knowing that says, "I haven't even started becoming who I'm meant to be." That's not delusion. That's purpose calling your name. And when Musk saw people like you, he saw that exact spark, that restless energy of potential. He saw people who can't stop dreaming, even when life gives them reasons to quit. He saw the ones who stay curious after failure, who still ask, "What if?" When others say, "Why bother?" Because those are the people who move humanity forward. And that's you, whether you believe it or not yet. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need validation to create. You just need courage. The courage to start, the courage to fall, and the courage to rise again. And when you do, you'll notice something incredible. The world starts opening doors you didn't even know existed. The right people appear, the right moments align, and what used to feel like luck starts feeling like destiny. Because once you begin walking your path begins walking toward you. What Elon Musk saw about you. Let's be real for a second. You've had moments. Moments when you looked at your life and thought, "I'm trying so hard, but it's not enough." Moments when success felt like a locked door, and no matter how many times you knocked, it never opened. You've seen other people move faster, grow quicker, shine brighter, and you wondered, what do they have that I don't? But the truth is, it's not about what they have. It's about what they believe. Elon Musk once said, "Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up." And that single sentence reveals what he saw about people like you. He saw that greatness isn't born, it's built. Brick by brick, failure by failure, belief by belief. You see, most people stop at pain. They hit a wall, feel rejected, and decide, maybe this isn't for me. But Musk? He built his empire inside the wall. When his rockets exploded, he didn't see destruction. He saw data. When investors laughed, he didn't hear mockery. He heard motivation. When he ran out of money, he didn't ask, "Why me?" He asked, "What next?" And that's exactly what he would say to you right now, because he saw a truth most people never do. You're closer than you think. You think you're miles away from your dream, but you're actually inches away. Inches from the version of you that doesn't quit this time. The problem isn't your lack of ability. It's your lack of permission. You've been waiting for someone to say it's okay to start, to dream, to be different. But what if no one ever comes? What if you were meant to be your own permission? Because that's what separates visionaries from spectators. Spectators wait to feel ready. Visionaries start before they do. They don't wait for confidence. They build it through motion. They don't chase clarity. They create it through action. They don't need guarantees. They trust that if they move, the path will unfold. That's what Elon Musk understood. He knew that motion, not motivation, creates momentum. Think about that. Every rocket he built didn't start with confidence. It started with uncertainty, with fear, with a ridiculous dream that most people said would fail. And yet, he took the first step anyway, because he realized something powerful. If you wait for fear to disappear before you act, you'll never act at all. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's movement despite fear. And every time you move forward, fear loses power over you. Now ask yourself, how many times have you stopped because you were scared? Scared of what people might think. Scared of failing again. Scared that you're not good enough. But let me tell you a secret. Every successful person you admire has felt that exact fear. The only difference is, they didn't stop. And that's what Elon Musk saw in you. He saw that your fear isn't weakness. It's proof that you're aiming higher than before. That your uncertainty isn't failure, it's the sign of growth. That your pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. Because pain is not there to break you, it's there to build capacity. It expands your limits, sharpens your focus, and deepens your hunger. If you're struggling right now, it's not because you're unworthy, it's because you're being stretched to handle what's coming next. You're being trained in silence. You're being refined by resistance. You're being prepared for visibility. That's the pattern Musk recognized again and again. Every great leap forward, in technology and business and life, comes from someone who refused to quit while the world wasn't watching. And maybe that's you right now. Unseen, unheard, but not undone. Because even if no one notices your effort today, someone will, and when that moment comes, when all your quiet work suddenly becomes visible, people will call it overnight success. But you'll know it wasn't. You'll know it was years of invisible effort, stacked moment by moment, when nobody was cheering you on. That's the kind of persistence Elon Musk respects most. Not the loud kind, but the kind that endures in silence. Because silent persistence is the loudest proof of belief. Let's talk about something deeper for a second. Energy. Every action you take, every thought you repeat, every decision you make, it's a signal. It's as if the universe is a giant transmitter, and you're constantly broadcasting who you are, becoming. Most people send mixed signals. They say they want success but broadcast doubt. They dream big but act small. They speak hope but live hesitation. But when you start aligning your thoughts, words, and actions, when you decide that quitting is not an option, your signal gets stronger. And that's when life starts responding. That's when you attract opportunities, connections, and moments that seem like miracles. But they're not. They're just echoes of your own effort bouncing back to you. That's the science behind faith. That's the physics behind destiny. Because everything Musk achieved was once just a thought he believed in hard enough to make real. And if you can believe in your own thought long enough, you'll see it materialize too. You don't need to know how, you just need to decide why. Why do you want it? Why does it matter? Why are you still here, still trying, still hoping? Because your why is your engine. When your why is strong enough, the how reveals itself. Elon Musk's why wasn't money, it wasn't fame, it was survival, the survival of humanity itself. He wakes up every day trying to push human life forward, because that's what gives him meaning. So what gives you meaning? What burns quietly in you that you've been ignoring? Because whatever that is, that's your mission. That's what Elon Musk saw about you. He didn't see your bank account. He didn't see your followers. He saw your potential. Energy? Energy waiting to be transformed into reality. And right now, you're at the crossroads. You can keep storing that energy in your doubts and fears. Or you can unleash it into action, because the same energy that fuels fear can fuel creation. The same imagination that builds anxiety can build empires. It's all about where you direct it. So, here's the truth. You don't need more motivation. You need more movement. Start small. Do one thing today that your future self will thank you for. Send the email. Write the plan. Create the prototype. Make the call. Don't worry if no one notices. Don't wait for approval, because the moment you move, truly move, you become unstoppable. That's how the world changes. Quietly at first, and then all at once, and one day people will say, "I always knew you'd make it," but you'll smile, because you'll know. You were the only one who actually did. That's what Elon Musk saw about you. He saw your hidden flame. He saw the creator behind the self-doubt, the builder behind the fear. He saw that you were already becoming something greater. You just needed to realize it yourself. And now, you do. Let's pause for a moment, because before you rise, before the world recognizes your light, something happens. You get tested, not by fate, not by the universe, but by everything inside you that still remembers failure. That voice in your head will start whispering again. You've tried before. Remember how it ended? What if you fail again? Who do you think you are to dream this big? That voice is fear, and it's clever. It doesn't show up as panic. It shows up as logic. It tells you to be realistic. It reminds you of every mistake you've ever made. It disguises itself as safety. But Elon Musk understood something most people never do. Safety is the enemy of innovation. He knew that if you always stay where it's safe, you'll never discover what you're truly capable of. He knew that. Comfort zones don't just keep you comfortable. They keep you contained. And that's why fear always arrives right before transformation. It's not there to stop you, as it's there to test how badly you want it. When Musk launched SpaceX, experts said it would fail. When he built Tesla, the auto industry laughed. When he dreamed of colonizing Mars, the world called him insane. And yet, every insult became proof that he was moving in the right direction, because progress always looks like madness until it works. You will face the same pattern. People will question your timing, your choices, your ambition. Some will even mock your dreams, not because they're bad people, but because your courage reminds them of their own fear. Don't take it personally. It's not rejection. It's reflection. Their disbelief in you is just the echo of disbelief in themselves. But there's another, quieter danger, distraction. You'll be tempted to chase quick wins, approval, shortcuts. You'll scroll for hours comparing your start to someone else's middle. You'll mistake busyness for progress. And before you know it, you'll start to drift, and not because you failed, but because you lost focus. That's how most people lose, not in defeat, but in distraction. So Musk built a rule for himself. Focus on signal over noise. In other words, stop chasing applause. Chase purpose, stop looking for validation. Look for direction, stop trying to be liked. Start trying to be useful, because the day you stop seeking to prove yourself is the day you start improving yourself. And yes, the path will get hard. You will lose people. You will face loneliness, but loneliness is not emptiness. It's space being cleared for alignment. The higher you rise, the quieter it gets. Not because you're alone, but because not everyone can breathe at your altitude. So when the silence comes, don't run from it. That's where the next version of you is being born. The moment Elon Musk saw you. So here you are. Still listening. Still here. After the noise, after the doubts, after everything that tried to silence you, you may not realize it yet. But the fact that you're still here means you've already passed the first test. Because most people never make it this far. They give up at the first sign of resistance. They choose comfort over calling. They trade potential for permission. But you didn't. You're still searching, still listening, still hoping for a sign. And this is that sign. Elon Musk once said, "I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary." And that word, choose him, is everything. You don't need approval to begin. You don't need luck to. So you just need to choose yourself again and again and again. Because one day you'll look back and realize every failure was training. Every delay was alignment. Every rejection was redirection. And all this time, you were being prepared for a moment only you could fulfill. That's what Musk saw. Not just rockets or cars or Mars, but the pattern of human potential. He saw what happens when one person refuses to stop. He saw what happens when someone believes so deeply in their purpose that reality eventually adjusts to match their vision. And that's what he saw in you. He saw the possibility of someone who would dare to go further. He saw the potential of a person who might not have all the answers yet, but has the courage to ask the right questions. He saw the dreamer who doesn't quit, the thinker who doesn't conform, the heart that refuses to turn cold. You think this video is just motivation? No, it's recognition. You were meant to hear this because something inside you is ready to rise again. Maybe you've been invisible for too long. Maybe you've been waiting for someone to notice your effort. Maybe you've been telling yourself it's too late, but listen, it's not too late. You are not behind. You are right on time for your own timeline. Your story is not delayed, it's developing. Every great thing takes time. The stars themselves need darkness to shine, so don't curse the waiting. It's preparing your moment. The World doesn't need another copy. It needs your original, your vision, your courage, your voice. The question is, will you step forward, or will you keep waiting for someone else to give you permission? Because the truth is, no one's coming to save you. They're waiting to see you save yourself. The universe responds to movement, not to hesitation. Every step you take tells the world, I'm serious about my purpose. So here's your choice, the one Elon Musk made years ago. Will you keep dreaming about the life you want, or will you start building it? Don't wait until you're ready. You'll never feel ready. You'll just feel called, and that's enough. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to act while afraid. So, take this moment. Take it as proof that your flame still burns, that your purpose is still alive, that your story isn't over. It's only turning the page. And when doubt whispers again, just remember this. Elon Musk saw something in humanity, a spark that could change the universe, and within that spark was you. If you feel it, if you're ready, leave a single word below. Ready. Because this moment is not random. It's alignment. It's your reminder that even when the world forgets you, destiny never does. You are seen. You are chosen. And now, it's time to rise.